You don't make decisions the way you think you do. Not logically. Not consciously. Not even deliberately. Most of your choices are already made before you feel like you chose anything. That job you accepted. That person you trusted. That message you sent and instantly regretted. Your mind didn't ask for permission. It acted first, and then told you a story to make it feel like your idea. And once you see how this works, you'll never look at your decisions the same way again. Think about the last decision you made today. What to wear. What to eat. What to ignore. It felt small, harmless, automatic. But those small decisions are quietly shaping your entire life. Why you stay in situations longer than you should. Why you repeat patterns you swore you were done with. Why you know something is bad for you and still choose it anyway. You tell yourself you're weighing options. You believe you're being rational. But behind the scenes, something else is driving. Something fast. Something emotional. Something that doesn't care about long-term consequences. Only immediate comfort, safety, or relief. And the scariest part? The more confident you feel about a decision, the less likely it came from conscious thought. Inside your mind, there are two decision makers. One is slow, deliberate, and thoughtful. It analyzes. It plans. It imagines the future. The other is fast, emotional, and impulsive. It protects. It wants certainty now. Here's the truth most people never realize. The fast one almost always goes first. Before logic shows up, your emotional brain has already scanned the situation and asked one question. Does this feel safe or threatening? If it feels familiar, even if it's harmful, your brain labels it as safe. That's why people return to toxic relationships. That's why comfort beats growth. That's why fear often disguises itself as common sense. Your conscious mind doesn't like being left out, so it does what it does best. It rationalizes. It builds a clean, logical explanation after the choice is made. You didn't avoid the opportunity because you were scared. You avoided it because the timing wasn't right. You didn't stay silent because you feared conflict. You stayed silent because it wouldn't have changed anything. These explanations feel true because they're convincing, but they're stories, not causes. Here's the twist that changes everything. Your brain isn't designed to make you happy. It's designed to keep you alive. And survival doesn't care about fulfillment. It cares about avoiding pain, rejection, and uncertainty. So when you're faced with a decision, your brain doesn't ask, is this good for my future? That's what feels least dangerous right now. That's why growth feels uncomfortable. That's why change feels risky. That's why your best decisions often feel wrong at first. If something challenges your identity, your brain treats it like a threat, even if it's exactly what you need. And once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself and start working with your mind instead of against it. Before awareness, decisions feel automatic. You react. You justify. You repeat. After awareness, something shifts. You start noticing the pause, that brief moment between impulse and action. You hear the emotional pull. You feel the urgency, but you don't obey it immediately. You ask better questions. Am I choosing this because it's right, or because it's familiar? Is this fear talking, or intention? This doesn't make decisions easy. It makes them honest. And honesty is where real change begins. You stop trying to eliminate emotion and start understanding it. You don't fight your instincts. You observe them. And slowly, the conscious part of your mind gets a seat at the table again. Not to dominate, but to guide. The next time you make a decision, pay attention to what happens before the reasoning. That's where the truth lives. Not in the explanation you give others, but in the feeling you try to outrun. So here's the question I want you to sit with. What's one decision in your life right now that feels logical, but might actually be driven by fear or comfort? Write it down. Or if you're ready, share it in the comments. Because awareness doesn't start with answers. It starts with noticing. And once you notice, you can't unsee it.